the balloon. Release the balloons. Balloons. Release the balloons. Woo! Balloons.
Balloons everywhere.
Balloons are because they're so colorful. Get out of here, balloon. Jared Poland, FroKnowsPhoto.com, and welcome to RAWtalk episode number 100. Oh, jeez, there's gonna be confetti in my hair. When's the cleaning lady coming?
It's on your hair.
Oh,
I didn't know it released all this.
all right. That's episode 100, and we're going home because now I have to pay the cleaning lady to clean up this mess. Sutter, you're on the mess.
Oh, dang.
Look at this.
Oh boy, oh boy. Anyway, welcome to episode number 100. We have a special show. No, we just have a regular show.
It's all on your hair, by the way.
Is it in my hair?
Yeah.
Does it make me look glittery?
Kind of, actually.
Like Kesha.
Yeah, Kesha.
She did molest me one day.
Actually, you got a nice dark blue one, which matches your shirt pretty well.
Oh, really? Very nice. So, yeah, we're back here in the studio after being, well, the loft, after we were in San Francisco, ding ding, for last RAWtalk, which we have to big thank you again to Think Tank and Squarespace for making that happen.
Huge thanks.
And all the people that showed up. It was great. That was a fun episode. I love the mobile RAWtalks, man. Did you enjoy your trip to San Francisco?
That was awesome, man. And we did something memorable every day. It was incredible. I mean, we'll get into that.
Every day?
Every day.
We totally filled the weekend.
We really did. I think the only downtime we had was probably the last, like, 3 hours before the airplane ride, which we were editing and working.
Basically.
Yeah.
And eating.
And eating,
A hamburger. So, yeah, I mean, nothing like having a full-on weekend. That is how you fill a weekend. Friday, fly out in the morning. Do all the things that you need to do. We had a lunch meeting. We went to the baseball game. Saturday, we had RAWtalk. We did that. Then we came right back from RAWtalk, and we went to that thing that I didn't tell anybody about.
Yes.
Right?
But now you can tell people
Now
about?
I can tell everybody. I put it on Instagram.
Cool.
I put it. We because I went to Israel, we did that through Kinetis, which was the organization. They sponsored Randy Zuckerberg and her husband in Israel for a trip, and they stayed at Joanna's house, who's the founder of Kinetis, and so they talked about having a fundraiser at Randy's house. And before the photographers left our event, we said that you could use some of our photos to help raise funds to send more bloggers for the future. So we got invited out to Randy Zuckerberg's house.
That's amazing.
It was amazing.
It really is.
What,
Just take that one piece of confetti out. It's really annoying me. There you go.
Oh, it's
There you go.
annoying you.
It's just the one piece.
Oh, yeah. It's funny that my OCD hasn't kicked in for like...
Yeah, what's that on the table?
Could you move that
Jared,
on the
can
table?
can you get that piece right there?
Because I think it's the little pieces bother me more than just all of this confetti stuff.
I didn't realize it was... It's funny because we were going to actually put confetti everywhere, and you're like, I don't want confetti everywhere. And the shooters happen to have confetti everywhere.
Oh, man. Anyway,
get back to... yeah.
So we were showcasing our work at Randy's house, and I thought it was a great opportunity just to go. I had no expectations of anything whatsoever, and it was just one of those things where if you have a cool opportunity, it was just a coolness opportunity. So around it was just going to be me going first between you and I, and then I was like, well, we might as well do something business-wise out of it so that we can cover the expenses of the trip, create some content, do some other stuff while we're out there. So I'm not just flying to the West Coast and then flying back home just for going to this event. But the event was awesome. She could not have been any more down to earth.
So welcoming. I mean, she was great.
Everybody there was awesome.
Yeah, everyone.
Everybody was. So she ended up buying my photo, which was cool. You took that photo of me holding the photo of the photo that
and
she
actually,
bought.
if you look in that photo, the top right left of the frame, that's where she said she was going to hang it. She was going to replace whatever was hanging on that wall right there with your photo.
Absolutely.
Which is just, I mean, that's awesome.
It was cool. And then I was sitting at the computer last night before I went out, and I was like going through Facebook because I've been clearing friends, you know, just the requests that come in because I get so many requests still. And I was like, Randy Zuckerberg requested me. She sent me a friend request. Well, that was pretty cool, right?
Well, and I guess with her, you know, obviously recently working for Facebook, she must have her Facebook account tweaked because I can't add her as a friend.
Well, you can't. I don't think you can add me if you have too many requests.
Is that what it is? But you can request people? Is that how it works?
Yes, you can. Well, you can request them.
So if you're over the limit, you can still request them, but they can't request you.
If you have 1,000 people waiting requests in your box, you can't accept anymore.
Okay.
So you delete a few, and then you go and add the people that you want to add.
Gotcha. Yeah, because I tried, and it was like, oh, can't add her. I'm like, oh, crap.
So that's what happens.
And her house was beautiful. Her
Beautiful.
family was great.
Yeah.
How old was her son? Like 4 years old?
He looked like he was 3.
3 maybe? Yeah.
And then she's
He was
about
cool.
ready to give birth to another one. But anyway, that was an unbelievable time. It's really cool that I now have that connection because she owns my photo and she knows who I am. So I'm gonna send her a thank you gift and stuff.
I just remember being there and
Shortly.
being like, I'm in Randy Zuckerberg's house. How did I get
No,
here?
you were more like, I'm
did I get
peeing
here?
in Randy Zuckerberg's bathroom. That was what it was. I thought the same thing as you
specifically,
did.
that's what I said. I said, I'm peeing in Randy Zuckerberg's bathroom.
I thought the same exact thing.
Yeah, it was
All right,
great.
let's move on to Sutter because Sutter's back with his hat on.
He is. Woo, Sutter's back.
How long was your trip?
About 18 days.
18 days with you and your. Is she still your girlfriend?
Yes.
That's a keeper right there if she can put through that much.
18 days.
18
Sleeping in
days.
the back of your vehicle.
Yep, for most of it. We got a motel 2 nights, and we stayed at our sister's house in Southern California for a couple days, too.
Oh, nice.
I just had confetti in my beer.
Did you get confetti in your beer?
I was just drinking. I'm like, oh, what is that? It's a piece of confetti.
So how was it? Was it a lot of fun?
Yeah, it was great. I mean, besides the ton of driving that involves those kind of trips,
Ooh,
I
man.
had a blast. I went to almost all of my favorite national parks that I could even imagine going to. I went to the Grand Canyon, Zion, Canyonlands.
Did you go to the
Joshua
Muir
Tree.
Woods?
Where?
The Muir Woods?
No.
We did.
We did.
We
Well-
were going to get you a stamp.
Oh yeah, we were looking for one. We were looking for
We
like a
didn't
little
look very
booklet,
hard.
and yeah. Well,
'Cause
because we knew it's
it's not
pointless to
authentic.
get. Yeah, it's pointless to get it when you actually weren't there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, but otherwise I had a blast. Shot a lot of photos. Did a little bit of video, but mostly stuck on the photo end. And now I'm back. I'm alive.
The big question is how many times did you get pulled over on this trip?
0.
Zero this time?
times. I went
Record.
from like 5 last trip to 0. So
All right,
I'm
cool.
happy. But I do have a gift for you guys.
Ooh.
Right now?
Right now. You have to close your eyes.
Is it the gift that keeps giving?
No, but you have to
Closing
close
my
your
eyes.
eyes. Close your eyes.
How, like
Closing.
really close them?
Oh god, what
Please
is it?
be M&Ms. Please be M&Ms. Please be M&Ms. Are they M&Ms?
What is he doing?
I don't know what he's
This is
doing.
taking a long time.
I don't know what he's doing.
I'm nervous.
We're not looking.
I'm not looking. Is it a hat?
Can we open our eyes yet?
Can I open them?
Go for it.
Wait, is that a cactus?
It's a fro cactus.
But can
and
I touch it, or is that going to give me like?
I wouldn't touch it too hard.
Ooh, that one hurts.
That's prickly. Thank you for
It
the
look-
cactus,
thank
man.
you, thank you.
What do I do to this?
Water it very rarely and put it in the sun.
It looks like the thing from the Addams Family. What was that thing called?
I don't know what that thing was. Here, can we remove it? Because I think it has water in the bottom.
Does it?
This one has some
Yeah, I'll grab it.
earth on the bottom of
This
it.
is pretty cool. Thank you, man.
Thank you very much for the gift. I'll put it on the windowsill.
You can't like plant these things out here, right?
I mean, they can stay alive inside.
All right.
Inside, not outside, though. Correct? Probably. Yeah. That's
All
what I
right. Well,
thought.
welcome back,
Very
Sutter.
cool.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, welcome
and
back.
And the one thing I didn't say though, when we started being on episode 100, I have to thank you guys so much for continuing to watch as it has grown and changed. Obviously, thank you, Stephen, for taking it to another level.
Thank you for taking me in.
No problem with the editing and all of that good stuff. But thank you guys for watching, participating with the flying solos, because obviously without you watching, we don't really have a show. Actually, we could still have a show. We could just do it. But if nobody's watching, it doesn't make it as much fun. So again, thank you guys very, very much. And right before we get into the photo news, let's go ahead and talk about the second annual event for Alan's camera, which does not have a name yet. But remember last year we did Alan's Nikon-a-Palooza?
So confusing.
We don't have a name yet. I told them to pick one name and then let me know what it is.
Okay.
We don't have a name yet, but I wanted to tell you guys that we're going to be there on October 18th. That is Saturday, October 18th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. There will be an SLR giveaway. There will be a bunch of other stuff. They're going to have a huge trade-in incentive option type thing where if you trade in any type of gear, and they're going to give you X amount of dollars back towards purchasing new Nikon gear or Nikon gear, but it's going to be on a separate time that you come back to the store.
Very cool.
Because it breaks the rules that Nikon has. If you give a trade-in option, there's all these rules these days about trade-ins, regulations about what you're allowed to give a discount on. So you have to come back another time. But really, if you trade in some stuff, or if you're switching sides or whatever you're doing, you're going to get you could get some good amount of money back to purchase some newer
So
Nikon
that'd be like
stuff.
the day to do it.
Yeah, that would be a good day to do that. I have to decide if we want to do a live Raw Talk there.
Why not?
It's going to be outside under a tent.
Yeah.
I guess we don't know. We should probably do it.
I think we should do it.
Okay.
I mean, why not?
If we do it, it's going to be from 10:30 to noon.
Okay.
And then the rest from noon to noon o'clock, will be in Alan's camera, talking, helping, answering questions, and hanging out.
So I guess we would have to do it outside just because of the size of the crowd, right?
Well, we're thinking a lot of people would show up.
Yeah, yeah. And this year, I mean, I wasn't able to make it last year. I forget why, but now Sutter and I will both be there.
Yeah.
So we can do the podcast.
So if you guys are interested in coming, definitely put down October 18th. It's a Saturday. It's going to be at Alan's Camera, 4401 New Falls Road in Levittown, PA. It's going to be a lot of fun because a lot of people showed up last year from near and far.
Yeah, I heard it was huge.
There were people that showed up from a long ways away, but there's going to be a lot of giveaways. The Wheel of Fro will be in person. We will be spinning it for people to watch live, which we haven't done yet other than digitally when we've pre-recorded it. But anyway, that's going to be Alan's event, which does not have a name yet. That's all I have to say about that. Let's jump into photo news so we can actually talk about something photo related so people don't yell at us.
Okay. First up, we have a group of National Geographic photographers joined together. They've released a crazy list of things that have happened to them while being on assignment throughout the years via the Photo Society, a website run by Nat Geo photographers. The list features everything from the expected items like dehydration and infections and bites to like insane and unusual items like being stabbed, getting attacked by a panther, which, by the way, apparently the panther attack happened to 2 different photographers on 2 separate assignments.
The same panther?
That's what they said. I don't know how they know that, but...
Was it a black panther?
It was the pink panther. No, I don't know. Probably a black panther.
Do-do, 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 do-do. Is that the pink panther?
Yeah, I think so. Right?
I don't know.
But there's other items that they had listed too, like someone was hunted with bows and arrows, to even being bit by ticks down there.
Oh.
Yeah, that's not fun. The list is a tribute, though, to photographer Wes Skiles, who passed away a few years back while on assignment doing what he loved, underwater cinematography. But really cool things, cool list, interesting list to see what these photographers go through.
Yeah,
it's not your everyday
cool.
run and gun, take some pictures and be done. It's, you're risking your life half the time.
Nice. Let me interrupt you, Stephen.
Yep.
Because I forgot to talk about the correction from last week.
Okay.
I messed up leaving on a midnight train to Georgia. It was actually Gladys Knight and the Pips.
Who'd you say it was?
I don't know why I said Tina Turner.
I thought,
and
but someone in the crowd even said, yes, Tina Turner.
Well, they are wrong.
I didn't know who it was. So.
You were wrong, Mr. Guy in the crowd.
Which, by the way, speaking of the crowd, there was 2 people that came over 7 hours away, which is crazy.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
So that's the correction. Leaving on that midnight train to Georgia, leaving on the midnight train. Hoo-hoo! I love that song.
It is a great tune. Now, moving forwards to some terrible news, American photojournalist James Foley was executed by ISIS. The freelance photojournalist was kidnapped by the militant group back in 2012 on Thanksgiving Day, actually while working in northern Syria. He hasn't been heard of until this week when ISIS revealed a video of his execution. They had Foley kneeling and reciting an anti-American statement the moments before he was beheaded. Now, here's a message from Jim's mom, Diane Foley. She says, we have never been prouder of our son, Jim. He gave his life trying to expose the world to the suffering of the Syrian people. We implore the kidnappers to spare the lives of the remaining hostages. Like Jim, they are innocent. They have no control over American government policy in Iraq, Syria, or anywhere in the world. We thank Jim for all the joy he gave us. He was an extraordinary son, brother, journalist, and person. Please respect our privacy in the days ahead as we mourn and cherish Jim, end quote. Now, the video hasn't been confirmed as authentic at the time of this recording by the National Security Council, but they said they are currently working on it quickly. Now, in respect to the family, obviously I won't be posting the video on the website, and please don't go searching for it. I mean, this is something that no one should ever see.
No, it's obviously it's horrible.
It is.
The photojournalists put themselves in these situations, and they know what could happen if they fall into the wrong hands. That you're most likely not coming back.
Yeah,
I don't know that I would ever put myself into that situation.
Yeah, it's a dangerous job, very dangerous job.
It is. Yeah, I hope that video doesn't really surface too hard.
No, I mean
those are the most.
The worst part is that apparently it went on YouTube first. I mean, obviously YouTube took it down, but wow.
It's unbelievable they use social media the way they use it.
Yeah. And the guy, well, I'm not even getting into that. Moving forward, though, the Atlantic City Alliance, a nonprofit group supported by casinos in AC, released a full-page ad in various newspapers which features a concert on the beach, I think it was like Lady Antebellum, with a backdrop of numerous fans cloned throughout the photograph, making it appear more full. Are you trying to think of a Lady Antebellum song?
No, I wasn't thinking of a Lady Antebellum song because I could not name
one
a Lady
song from
Antebellum. Country music?
Yeah.
Well, Nathan would know, right? Chapman?
He would know, yeah.
He would know, but
he probably recorded them or produced them.
He probably produced their...
Actually, I think he did when we were going through that list that
Can we get a Lady Antebellum song looked up, Stephen?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, let me know when you get a minute.
Now, this comes after a number of casinos are being shut down in Atlantic City. Specifically, I think the Revel Casino and Borgata? No, not Borgata.
No, not the
Something
Borgata. It's a
else.
showboat.
Now, ACA Chief Strategy and Communications Officer Jeff Guaracino says, in quotes, "It didn't alter the message. A picture is worth 1,000 words, and the ridiculousness of the question is the picture shows what was here," end quote. He says the point of the image was to show 3 vantage points to make a statement. No additional altering was done, which doesn't make sense to
That
me.
makes absolutely no sense. I
Yeah.
looked at the photo and I was like, well, it doesn't look real.
And for one, they picked like the worst couple of people to clone because they have the brightest shirts.
Bright orange,
bright red, and throughout it's like Where's Waldo cloned like 15 times.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's not the best.
Need You Now.
Oh, that's that. I need you now. What else? Because I know that song. I can't just picture perfect moments.
Is this a John Mayer version?
That's all I got for Lady Antebellum. What else?
Downtown.
Yeah, no.
American Honey.
Uptown girl, you've been living in your uptown world. Something. Go ahead.
Just a Kiss.
Really?
Are you thinking of other songs?
Yeah, just other songs because I don't know any Lady Antebellum songs.
That's funny.
I don't know. Okay, I don't know any more Lady. I think that song went that way. All right, keep going.
Nikon,
Can you get that?
You want me to get this?
No, there was
this
just one piece of fuzz right here.
Nikon has issued a service advisory for the brand new D810. The new body is said to be having issues with quote-unquote bright spots appearing in long exposure images.
It's probably why we haven't received ours from Nikon yet.
That is true. Now, they say not all D810s are affected by this issue, though. Only certain serial numbers are. They say, we have determined that some noise, aka bright spots, may on occasion be noticeable when shooting long exposures, and an image is captured at an image area setting of 1.2 by 30 by 20 or something like that. Weird.
Some scientific mumbo jumbo.
So Nikon will fix it for free, though, according to an internal memo obtained by Nikon Rumors, who obtains pretty much everything from Nikon. The company says, in quotes, Nikon service centers will service these cameras that have already been purchased as needed, free of charge to the customer. We sincerely apologize for any inconvenience this issue may have caused, end quote.
And that reminds me, 2 weeks ago, was it, when we talked about the Nikon D600 being replaced by this D610, if you were part of that thing?
Yep.
Nikon's official stance that came back to me was that Nikon does not comment on legal matters. That was the official...
So they didn't deny it, which means it's probably they're replacing it.
They just sit there and tell you that they don't comment on legal matters.
Well, and I believe in the report, it said that if you do get your camera replaced, it's confidential that it was replaced.
Which still, I still call it, you haven't heard anything else of it.
No, I haven't heard nothing.
Which, it just disappeared.
Yep.
So...
now the memo says they'll use a combination of a firmware update and pixel defect compensation to fix the issue. I don't know what that means.
Oh well, okay.
It sounds scary.
No, I know. Pixel. What is
pixel defect compensation?
Oh yeah. Pixel defect compensation is pretty simple. It's when you get into the pixel level, and what you do is you lower the microns by a 0.257, and then you multiply it by 1.9, and that's when you move the red, the blue, and the green. You just off shift them so that the micro lenses there can then get that white dot out of there. It's a very scientific thing, and I did some research on it recently, and that's what happens.
I thought you just like shrink yourself like Tron level and just run in the sensor and clean it off yourself.
Tron level?
Yeah.
That would be fun.
That would be pretty cool.
Speed bikes. Or light bikes.
We have, this is interesting.
Well, you know what? Speaking of Tron, we were in the Mere Forest.
Yes.
And that reminds us, that's where the Ewok village was.
Yeah.
It has absolutely nothing to do with Tron,
And yeah,
But
speaking
still,
of Drod,
that's how I segued into it.
no, I understand why your brain went that way, but they also did Jurassic Park, I believe, there.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. I didn't see any dinosaurs.
I didn't see any dinosaurs either.
But I did. It was pretty cool. I was like, this looks like where they did Ewoks and
It was
stuff.
so cool, man. That was a fun day. We had our buddy Mike Kelly help us out with that. And we also got some videos out of that.
We did. We
quick
made
tips.
some videos in the trees. The redwoods are absolutely stunningly, amazingly huge.
What's amazing too, like I just brought my camera, my Black Rapid Strap Pro Edition, and simply we're just walking around. And we're like, oh, let's make some videos real quick, switch it up, and put the Sony pack on top for audio. And
Oh, yeah.
there you go. It's so easy.
It is easy. Even a caveman could do it. But I also forgot to say we stayed at the W Hotel, and they had I love their colors. They're purple. That's kind of the only reason I stay there. But and it's very modern. But when I was signing up on the website for a room, at the bottom it said any requests. They gave me a box to put in a request. So I was like, absolutely, I have a request. Please give me a smile, and then a bunch of M&Ms with no brown ones. So then I got an email, but it wasn't there when we checked in because we got there early.
Yeah.
Right? So then we're sitting there at the bar, and I got an email because we were doing work, and it was like, hey, sorry I missed you. We saw that you made a request for M&Ms. Will you be where you're at? Where are you? So I basically said, we're in the bar, and then the guy comes walking over, and he gives me a box, and I open it, and there's no brown M&Ms, just other color M&Ms.
I can't believe they did that.
It's not racism, all right? It's just I didn't want brown M&Ms. I picked brown, all right? They don't taste as good as blue or green or red. Did you know back in the 80s they had to take red M&Ms out?
I did not know that.
It was red number 5.
Oh, really?
The dye was deemed to cause cancer or something.
So why is it back in there? They use something else?
They probably use something else.
Interesting.
But now the blue ones cause, allegedly. No, they don't. I don't mean that,
I'm pretty sure
M&M
you're making
people.
all of this up.
No, I didn't. It's
No, I
true
know, I
about the
believe the 80s
red
part. Yeah,
M&Ms.
yeah.
That's true. I would like M&Ms to be a sponsor, but I don't want to eat them. I can eat about 6 of them before I feel like they're too sugary.
I'm pretty sure that out of that giant box they gave you, you probably had like 15.
I accidentally left it at the bar that night. Remember?
I bet you that guy came back and he's like,
I hope he didn't come back.
I just picked out all the brown ones.
He didn't pick them. I guarantee you he went to the store.
There happened to be just a random M&M store down the street.
Dude, there's everything in San Francisco.
I'm just saying. So a UK photographer named Tom Atkinson, he spent 9 months working on a new photo series that he calls Soldiers Inventories. The series features 13 photographs consisting of various gear, weapons, clothing, and armor worn during every British war in the past millennium. It starts with the Battle of Hastings in 1066 and goes all the way to the current gear of the Royal Engineers.
Well, that Battle of Hastings was that was a deadly one.
I mean, there is the stuff. It's crazy what it went through. I mean, from wearing just basically a cloth on you to wearing actual gear, the Royal Engineers.
Sure,
but it's a cool series to check out, and it took them 9 months to do this.
It's pretty cool though.
Very cool.
The weaponry, it's just like, oh. They went and killed people with this stuff.
And it's funny, too, because the first photo starts with maybe like 5 to 10 pieces of gear. And then the last one, there's just like 50 pieces of just so much stuff, in current day 2014.
Yep.
Sony debuted their new compact camera this week. It's called the A5100. Specs for the new shooter are pretty much the same as the A6000, but in a smaller body. It features a 24.3 megapixel sensor, fast hybrid autofocus system, max ISO of 25,600. Also has a flippable 3-inch touchscreen LCD screen, which is pretty cool. Also shoots 1080p at 60 frames per second, pretty much the standard. Price-wise, it's going for $550 for the body only and $700 for the kit, with the kit including a 16 to 50 millimeter f3.5 to 5.6 power zoom lens.
So 2 years ago at Photokina,
yes,
in the Sony booth, they had these girls wearing dresses of flowers.
Ooh.
I hope they have them again. Well, I'll see if they let us into the Sony booth this time.
Well, what was it at Photo Plus last year? Was it the
orange carpet?
That
Nikon had the candy. That was
girls,
a joke,
right?
Well, they had the sock hop girls.
Is that what they were called?
Yeah, like 1950s diner style.
Yeah.
Doing the. Let's go to the hop, oh baby. Let's go to the hop, oh baby. That, and then the reason I bring that up is we're going to Photokina, which I mentioned, which I'm still trying to figure out where we're going to do a RAWtalk in Photokina, but also in Poland. If you're in Poland, I have the dates of where we're going to be and when. So I don't know what's going on. I don't know if we're able to put up anything official. Maybe it's just like, this is where we're at, show up at a bar type thing and drink some Polish vodka, as I'm being told that there's a lot of it.
Oh, yeah.
September 12th to the 14th will be in Warsaw, which means the 12th, the night of the 12th, and the night of the 13th will be in Warsaw. And then September 14th into the 15th, we're going to be in Krakow before we then head over to Germany.
That's going to be awesome.
Those are the dates for Poland, and we don't have anything official. Just keep an eye on Facebook, keep an eye on Twitter. Going to have to figure out how to get internets, and that's about it.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll post something on one of those, all of the social medias that day, and just we'll figure out a meetup or something.
Yep.
That'll be fun. I'm really looking forward to that. And I bet you Sony might have like the biggest booth again. Photo Plus they did last year.
So the way that it happened in Photokina, there were 3 in this one hall. 3 companies took up the entire hall.
Wow.
It was Sony,
Canon, Nikon, or
no, they were in a different hall. I don't even remember the other 2.
what? Did Canon have its own and Nikon have its own?
No, they don't have their own hall. They're in the main hall.
Okay.
You'll see.
Are the booths about the same as say
No.
Photo Plus, or just
No.
even way bigger?
Dude, there are like 7 halls.
Wow.
There's the China hall where everything is knocked off, so everything looks exactly the same. You could bring them anything and they'll manufacture it for you.
Like right there on the spot.
Well, not right there on the spot, but you'll realize that everything that comes out of China is basically the same.
Wow.
All tripods, all come off. Most of them come off the same assembly line.
That's crazy.
All the camera bags, other than Think Tank, and some others, are all made off the same type of thing. They all look the same. Like the Low Pros and the Tamracs tend to be the same.
Now moving forward, we have a few more Actually, we have a lot more stories. This is crazy, first of all. It's for the portrait and studio photographers out there. There's new projection software that tracks a face in real time and projects any type of computer-generated makeup on the model. Now, there's not much information on it besides like this video showcasing the new technique, but it's really freaky. Sutter saw it. I think you have yet to see it.
I haven't seen it yet.
I mean, they basically show this girl sitting in this model chair, and she's just going like this, moving her face around, and it shows this projection of just makeup in real time on her face, and it looks real for the most part. You can kind of tell it's a little fake, but then it goes from like regular makeup to like this Terminator style liquid metal look. I have no idea. They just have this computer software that tracks the face, and
they use a projector.
It shows real reflections and everything. I mean,
That's cool.
It looks real and 3-dimensional, and it's amazing what people can do these days.
Very cool.
I mean, this is stuff that I wouldn't think would happen for another 100, 200 years or something crazy like that. A pair of Iran photographers were recently sentenced to a total of...
How far did they run?
recently-
I ran
Flocking
so
seagulls.
far away, so far away.
They were sentenced to a total of 75 lashes after they posted negative reviews about an official's photography book called, I have no idea how to pronounce this. It's Qazvin, Kazvin? The Land of Times Past. That's the book title.
That's such a good book.
But I don't know how to pronounce that.
Can I buy it on Amazon?
Probably can. I don't know.
So basically what happened...
Don't give it a bad review.
Well, yeah, what happened is these guys reviewed a book,
Yeah.
but they didn't know the author because the guy went under a pseudonym.
I have all that here.
Oh, I thought you were done.
No, I'm not done
Would
yet.
you turn the page?
I know, but it continues.
Turn the page. That's like a...
John Mayer song?
No, Turn the Page. Isn't that's a Metallica song?
I have no idea.
But I was going, turn the page. Every now and then I get a little bit...
That's what I thought of when you first said that.
That's what was going
It's
through
like
my
the
mind.
same melody. It started when photographer Khalil,
That's Khalil.
Imami, whatever, wrote the harsh review on the book in a weekly publication called Taban, whatever. He argued that the 216-page book had little artistic value and that the 230 photos contained poor lighting, bad framing, distortions, pretty much every photographer's nightmare. Well, the man behind the book, Mohammed Ali Hazrati, the head of the local cultural heritage organization in the Qazvin province and cultural advisor to the governor, responded to the review by writing a response in the publication under a fake name, while another photographer came to the reviewer's rescue and stood up for his comment, saying how poor the photographs were. In response, Hazrati, the author, took the photographers to court, which found them guilty of insulting him. One was sentenced to 25 lashes, and the other received 50 all for basically just telling it like it is.
All right, so here's the thing.
So you could never be in that country.
I'm kind of tired of hearing people on Facebook talk about America and where did the freedom of speech go
America.
and all this stuff, when all you have to do is look to what goes on in other countries to know how good we have it here.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like when I wore this shirt, or for an example, the guy who just got denied access to Six Flags Great Adventure in New Jersey for his shirt that said keep calm and keep firing, or keep calm, fire on. Oh, keep calm and return fire.
Which,
first off, I'm not going to back that guy.
I was going to say, that shirt I understand.
Their rules, they have rules, right?
Yeah.
They have rules that obviously they don't like guns in their park, in terms anything negative that has anything to do with guns. When we went, it was right after a shooting happened. This guy goes to, we didn't talk about this in the news, but I'm going to bring it up because everybody has been sending to me. Like, they're like, Six Flags did it again. And I sat there and I looked at the guy's shirt. First off, he complained. He's like, I was in the military. I've served. I'm a veteran. Okay, thank you for your service.
And he claimed it was like an official shirt,
The
too,
shirt he was wearing had nothing to do with the military or the army.
Yeah,
it said,
nothing.
keep calm and return fire, with an M16 on it. So what do you want them to do when they're, and Six Flags has apologized. I don't know why this time.
Really?
They apologized, saying they shouldn't have denied it, but that shirt it wasn't a U.S. military shirt.
No.
So I'm not being hypocritical here by saying that I thought that guy's shirt, it's like if you have a keep calm and return fire. I mean, they're anti-gun there, and they're free. They're a company that if it's a private park, so they can make rules that they have. So anybody saying like, oh, freedom of speech and you can't have this, well, you know what? They make some rules, and they wanted to keep it family friendly, and that's why they denied the guy access, because that shirt doesn't seem to be family friendly. That still doesn't advocate the fact that they have those other shirts in the park that they sell that are not family friendly.
Yep.
But if guns are the issue, I think that shirt, based on their rules, should have been denied access.
Well, when you first told me about that story, you're like, this guy showed up and when the official military shirt, I'm thinking it was like a Go Army camouflage shirt or something like that, just a generic shirt. And I'm like, all right, well, that's messed up. And then when I actually saw the shirt, I'm like, well, that's messed up that he wore that.
Right.
I mean, that is not an official
messed
shirt
up that he wore it, but
I'm just saying,
I understand what they were saying.
why they didn't let him in. That's what I mean.
Right. So, I mean, everybody, I guess, thought that by sending that to me that I would be on this guy's side, but not based off of the shirt that he wore.
Yeah. What do you have to say about this?
What, I forget what this was.
the lashings and
everything.
everything.
The lashing thing. Well, that's what I had to say, is that we have it so good here where we live that we cannot complain about the little stuff and the freedom of speech stuff that they're like, oh, I got to leave this country. It's getting so bad when this happens. If I was to sit there and rip on Ken Rockwell, and Ken Rockwell so happened to be the chancellor of the Ministry of JPEG or something, and I spoke out against him, they could just kill you just because they want to kill you.
I was gonna say you'd probably have the death sentence on that one.
But that's what happens over in that area.
Scary.
When you I don't want to get into politics, but yes, we have it pretty darn good where we live.
Well, meanwhile, back in the U.S., America.
Back in the USSR.
Not the USSR. A Getty photographer named Scott Olson was arrested in Missouri by Ferguson police while covering the ongoing protests and riots there that were sparked by the death of Michael Brown. Olson says police told him he was put into custody because, in quotes, the media is required to be in a certain area in which he didn't follow. Now, he was released later that day. No charges were filed. Olson says, in quotes, I want to be able to do my job as a member of the media, not be arrested for just doing my job, end quote. In response, the city did sign a court declaration that they would not arrest journalists covering the protest unless they posted a threat to public safety or were obstructing police. So
it's a tough call, too.
It is a tough call.
Because there's a lot of media there.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it just seems to be a media circus. And one photographer wrote today, I don't know if you saw this, that he wrote that because of the circus atmosphere that is there with photographers, they're causing more trouble than they should be.
Oh, I
the
believe
photographers. So he's like, as of tomorrow, I'm out of here. I'm leaving.
The photographers, and I'm sure the actual people who are looting and rioting, are probably causing more of a ruckus because they're trying to almost showcase it to the media.
I'm not honestly following it. I'm
not either. I'm
just
completely assuming and guessing.
I've been on a news sabbatical for 3 weeks now. I've stopped following news websites because I just had to stop.
This is honestly about the only type of news that I check out. Music news is officially a no-go anymore because I am full-time with you. So you'll like this one. There's a new Tinder-like photography app. It's called Looksee, which lets you browse through various users' photos and swipe yes or no to them. If both users swipe right and get a match for each other, it lets you browse through their profile and add them as a personal connection. I don't see any actual use or benefit to something like this, but it is kind of fun to check out. Now, the company founder behind the app, Justin Spraggins, says he wants to show you who's behind your favorite photograph. In quotes, when you see something you like, you want to see who's behind it, and it drives you to share too. Because if you don't share, you're never going to reveal anybody. It's like you're unmasking people. It's cool, and you get addicted to it, end quote.
I disagree.
I completely disagree with that. Let me just finish this, and then you can go at them. There's an Explore feature, too, similar to like Instagram, which showcases the top swipe pictures, and it is available as a free download right now over in the iOS App Store. Sorry, Sutter, no Android app just yet. But yeah.
There's absolutely no need for this app.
I agree.
Swipe right to like somebody's photo, and if they like your photo, then you can talk. I mean, that makes absolutely no sense.
Well, it's one of those things, you know, they're just trying to make a profit off this whole Tinder thing. This is like the third app I feel like that's very
Tinder?
similar. I don't know. We should check out your Instagram and see a video of you Tindering.
Look, I'm not even looking. No hands. I'm swiping right.
And you got like 50 matches that night.
More like 8.
No? I thought there was more than that.
Nah, it was probably I woke up and there were like 6 more.
Anyone get back to you?
I didn't even bother. I'm deleting that app.
You say that now.
No, I'm deleting that.
Are you
app.
really?
Yeah.
But it's so entertaining.
It's not entertaining.
Right before you go to bed, just Tindering away. You wake up to some matches.
Nah. Over it.
But yeah, I mean, I don't see any actual use to this at all. It's almost better to be a little more mysterious with who photographed the image, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But whatever. And finally, Hasselblad has announced their new medium format camera, the H5D 200C MS. The camera is a 200 megapixel multi-shot variant of the H5D 50C that they recently released. Basically, it can shoot the same 50 megapixel stills as its little brother, or you can shoot 4 or 6 shot images that are stitched together in camera to create this massive 200 megapixel image. Now, the way this works is apparently the back will automatically shift the sensor by a half or full pixel as it captures each shot, creating this 200 megapixel image.
I don't get it.
I'll explain in one second. Now, it uses the same CMOS back as the 50C, and the file, if you do a 200 megapixel image, is 600 megabytes, 16-bit TIFF files. And
It's
also,
not even RAW.
And it also offers ISO range of 100 to 6400. But yeah, basically, it seems like this back, you can do the 50 standard megapixel image, or you can create this giant, almost like a gigapan image.
How much is it?
I don't know the price, actually. I don't think they listed it on there, or I just skipped over it. But honestly, I didn't list it because I don't think anyone's going to get it anyway.
I didn't understand the whole 4:6 type thing.
It's supposed to be just like you stitch, the back automatically moves and switches, and you create this giant image. It's just stitching images together.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if you're shooting for a billboard, but you don't need something that's 200 megapixels for that.
Toys, man.
It is. It's really what it is.
Toys.
Expensive, rich toys.
Very expensive.
That's it for photo news this week, though.
That's your photo news?
That's my photo news.
It was a light week because we are actually recording on Wednesday.
Yes.
Because I'm headed out of town for a family event in Tampa Bay for the weekend again. I just got home.
Yeah, so yeah, it's only
now I'm leaving again.
It's only been 4 days since we recorded last, so there's not much news in between. But yeah, I mean, you're nonstop with flying, man.
I don't. But it just says it's how it fell.
Yeah.
And then we're 3 weeks away from going to
Poland and Germany.
Poland and Germany.
When do we leave the 11th?
Probably, I think
actually.
we leave September 11th.
Yeah,
I think
scary day to fly.
No, it's not. It's probably one of the safest days to fly.
Well, I'm sure now. My brother actually said we'll probably have a marshal on our plane.
All right.
Because they say the international flights on that day usually. I mean, I don't know if this is true or not.
I flew September 11th the first time we went out. When I went out to Germany.
Okay. Did you have any U.S. Marshal on?
You don't know whether right? You don't know who's who.
That's true. Yeah.
So yeah, we got that. The photo news. We got some other stories to talk about this week. We're doing the show a little differently because we're not doing flying solo. We don't have a guest, but there were some things that happened to you personally.
Oh yes.
Your family.
Yes.
Your sister, to be exact. Do you want to go into a quick little story?
Yeah, I'll try and rehash it.
Allegedly?
Allegedly, yeah. I'm not going to name any names here because I don't want to bash any business or take down any business, I should say.
Well, I would like to, but
trust me, I want to say a name.
but we can't say the name
legality issues, I don't want to get into it.
Of the wedding photographer.
So basically, my sister's getting married, and when this comes out in about a week, Labor Day weekend, she's getting married somewhere in the New Jersey area, I'll say that. And she had a wedding photographer booked probably, I don't know, 8 months ago. They did an engagement session. Now, on this guy's website, it specifically lists that he shoots every photograph personally, every wedding personally, and it doesn't include...
That's in New Jersey.
In New Jersey, correct.
Because they have 3 locations.
They do, which apparently the other one's run by his brother and some other people that he knows.
But they have certified beep photographers.
Yes, certified, insert name here, photographers.
Right.
So anyway, it appears that, you know, this is his business and it's only him that shoots and blah, blah, blah. Well, they did the engagement session with him. They got to know him, you know, and again, in my sister's notes specifically, which she is a smart girl. She writes down everything and remembers everything. Well, she wrote down specifically in her notes saying that, you know, they asked him personally, will you be shooting our wedding? And he said, yes, I'll be there, blah, blah, blah. They did the engagement session, got to know him again. Well, 2 weeks prior to the wedding, as in last week, he calls up and was like, oh, you know, I wanted to introduce you to your new photographer for the wedding, blah, blah. And she's like, what do you mean my photographer? I thought you're our photographer. And he's like, no, it's going to be one of our certified photographers, who happens to be a random guy that's not on the website, listed at all, no name, no credit on any picture, nothing. This is after and by the way, for some odd reason, she already prepaid, which I wish she would have asked me first about it. I mean, it's obviously first wedding. What's up?
So you didn't mention what the guy said, why he's not shooting the wedding.
Oh, yeah. So he's not shooting the wedding because he has 3 other weddings that weekend.
You said that he was overbooked.
Yes.
He overbooked.
He overbooked.
You fucking kidding me?
He overbooked. And not just one wedding, 3 freaking weddings.
But we went to his website.
We did go to his website.
We took a screen grab.
Oh, yeah.
That said that if you are getting married in New Jersey and you book him, that he is the photographer at the wedding.
Personally shoots every wedding.
We checked yesterday on his website.
A week after the meeting, we met up with him.
And the FAQ section has officially
been changed.
Yep. Does not reflect what we took a screen grab of. And you told me this when it was here. And you mentioned a guy's name, just his first name, and I had an inkling of who it might be. Because I knew this guy from a camera store that I used to work at, because this guy shot a ton of weddings, but I've also heard stories about his ethics of getting work done and back and delivered, which probably isn't going to be the case here because the studio seems to have a legitimate editing suite and all these people that do that stuff.
And there was actually 2 editors there when we were meeting with him for that time.
The problem here is that it's 2 weeks before the wedding.
Yep.
You don't want to create any hassle for the bride, which your sister was obviously distraught, you know, crying over this whole thing because she knew who her photographer was going to be, and the guy flat out lied. And then to say something like we overbooked, that's not my problem. You said X, I paid you Y, you're going to do my freaking wedding. Mm-hmm. I would have fired them on the spot.
Well, and the worst part is, you know, we show up for this second meeting and she wanted basically me and my dad to be there just in case, you know, she wanted to meet this new photographer and she wanted me to almost just give my approval, I guess. And my dad was there just for the business and legality of the issue to basically show this photographer, this is what it says on your website. And as we're there in this meeting, the dude's like, that's not on my website. My brother must have did that. I don't know what you're talking about. And we're like, go to your freaking website. This is printed from it right there. We can take you to court right now and take you down.
You know what I said.
Yeah.
I would have shot the wedding.
Well, basically the backup plan was me and you shooting the wedding.
Well, I would have gotten somebdy else to come down so you could enjoy the wedding.
Obviously, I don't think I was going to personally shoot it.
I told you to fire the guy and that I would shoot it and get another. I would have flat out threatened to sue the guy, either give us our money back or go to court. I know she doesn't want to deal with that.
Thing is, it's 2 weeks from her wedding. She just doesn't want to deal with any stress that she's already dealing with.
Turns out she likes the new photographer, but then I told you that the guy's a shyster.
Yeah, and I didn't tell her that much about him because I don't want her to freak out about it, you know, before her wedding. Maybe after I'll tell her, but right now I just
hopefully he does a good job. But there was other issues where you're supposed to have 2 photographers.
Yes.
So there's supposed to be 2 photographers. This one guy and then a second shooter, but now they said, no, it's going to be an assistant. An assistant that's running there's 2 photo booths. There's video, so if the booths aren't busy, the other person's going to shoot. A photo booth person, no disrespect to Mr. Sutter sitting over here, is a kid with a camera who doesn't have a lot of experience shooting a wedding, which is fine for a third shooter if you want to throw a bone to somebody that's learning.
Yep.
And you don't want to put didn't they say that a professional photographer should be able to shoot a wedding by themselves?
Yes, and that just dude, that just pissed me off
because that's
so
bullshit.
much. And the funny part is now that when he changed the website again, it now says they recommend 2 photographers, not just one. But they're trying to pitch me this whole story, and they're like, "No, you don't need one. You don't need 2 photographers. That's just an amateur or an intern that they throw on." And I'm like, in some situations, yes, but in most situations, a good photographer will have another good photographer with him.
I would not shoot. I did not shoot any weddings myself ever. Any wedding that I ever did, I always had 2 shooters. Me, somebody else. Because you're not that good, no matter how good you are, that you're capable of getting all the shots that you need. It's like, so you have the setup shots of the bride and the groom. Somebody's shooting candids. You're not getting candids as you're positioning people on where to be. So that's a whole... I would have fired them on the spot.
Well, that part,
gotten my money back.
That part I actually intervened, and I just debated with the guy. I'm like, no, that is not true. I'm like, you certainly need at least one other photographer. I'm like, what happens if you're taking a picture of grandma crying over there during the wedding and you miss the first kiss or something? You know, whatever it may be, you miss something. You miss that moment. You know, you can't recreate that. But anyway, he's trying to pitch to me like, dude, I have my wide angle on here and my telephoto on the other, and I never miss a moment. And I'm like, yeah, okay. Show me that at the wedding.
First off, he's a salesperson. I know who he is.
Total shyster.
All right? Well, shyster's a Yiddish word. He will say whatever he needs to say to make you happy and to seal the deal.
That's exactly what he was doing, man. He did a great presentation. I will say that.
He's a salesperson. Mm-hmm. I know he's a salesperson.
But I'm just happy that my sister is at least comfortable with him shooting the wedding now. Now, I will say he was showing us his portfolio on the iPad, which there was plenty of pictures that he shouldn't have included. But there were some really great images. But then there was plenty that was like, really, dude? That's terrible.
The guy has done a ton of weddings. Mm-hmm. All right? I know he's shot a ton of bar mitzvahs, ton of weddings over the years, and I'm sure he does a fine job. Doesn't negate the fact that they lied to you and overbooked and then didn't just screwed the whole thing up.
Oh, yeah.
I hope it goes well.
And I think the only thing they did was knock like $200 off or something. Like the other part is that she had to pay some kind of separate fee that night, and they were like, "Do you want cash?" She asked specifically. She's like, "Do you know cash or check? I'll give you cash, or if there's an extra fee for check, then I'll just give you cash or whatever." And he's like, "Oh, either way, there's no extra fee." And she shows up, and they're like, "It's like a $200 extra fee for the check if they use that or something like that." And they waive that. That's their special perk for messing up, is they waive the $200 extra charge. I don't know specifically what it was or anything, but she just told me that they got some money knocked off. But yeah, we'll see what happens. There was one other thing I wanted to bring up, but I can't remember.
While you're doing that, let me talk.
Okay, yeah.
So here's the thing, guys. When you are doing wedding photography, when you have a business, I've booked a wedding for a second shooter before, for another shooter, because it was a popular weekend. I already booked one wedding for me. I went on this interview to get booked for a second wedding, and I said to them that I am already booked for a wedding. I'm not going to show you my work because I am not shooting your wedding. Here are the photographers. Here's the work from photographers that would be shooting your wedding. If you like it, that's great. If you don't like it, then I hope you can find somebody else, because we won't be able to do it. But I made sure that they understood that I'm not shooting their wedding. Unfortunately, I wish I could, but I'm already booked, and you will get these 2 guys that are also very, very good. So you have to be honest with the people that are out there. You can't come up with stuff like this and have it on the website and then totally lie to somebody's face.
Well, and not tell them until 2 weeks prior to the wedding.
Well, the other problem is that the guy that they did hire, that they're shooting the wedding, is not considered one of their certified photographers.
He's nowhere on the website.
He's not on the website, which brings up the point that we did look at some of the work, and if you want to see Dutch angles that make you throw up, every other shot was a Dutch freaking angle.
And I found out those Dutch angles, most of them were his.
Well, thankfully for that. So, end of the story.
I do have one other thing to bring up, though. Speaking of just showing your portfolio, especially if you're having another photographer shoot it for you, the one thing they were really annoyed about was she kept saying, I never saw this photographer's work. How do you expect me to approve of him for my wedding when I never saw his work? You sold us on your work, blah, 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 on your portfolio book or whatever, or website. So he comes, the owner of the photography company, and was like, he fired back and he's like, "Oh, well, actually, it was some of his work too. It was just mixed in and blah, blah, blah." And she's like, "So you're telling me you lied and said that those were all your pictures and they weren't, and half of them were his?" And it actually turned out that in the room we were in, maybe they could have been lying because they already lied a million times at this point, but it turned out that most of those images in the room were the new photographer's images. But they're saying he's trying to throw on me like, he's been in my business partner for 25 years in wedding photography.
Well, no, this
blah,
guy
blah,
has
blah.
not been the business partner. I know that for a fact.
Exactly, and the website hasn't even been around for that long. Or the company, I mean, in general.
It's pretty disappointing.
It's a lie after lie.
That they would run a business like that and then say that the work that you saw, well, some of the work was his, and then whatever. The moral of the story is, I hope that it works out. I hope that she's very happy with the results that this photographer's able to get. I personally would have fired him on the spot.
Well, if it doesn't work out, I have somewhere to talk about it, and I will gladly say his name next time around.
All right, so we were on the airplane flying to San Francisco.
San Fran.
I like to get movies on the plane.
Mm-hmm.
I saw that No Cameras Allowed was available for download, for rent. It was $6.99. No cameras allowed for anybody out there. There's this photographer, Marcus Haney.
Is it that much for rent, huh?
Yeah, it was more expensive. I don't know why it was $6.99 to rent.
I thought they're $3.99 normally.
Normally it's $3.99 or $4.99 or $4.99 and $5.99, depending on HD or SD.
Okay.
I only get the SD for the iPad because that's perfectly fine anyway. So I watched the movie, then I handed you the iPad so that you could watch the movie on the 6-hour flight, because it's only an hour and 20-some minutes, hour and 31 minutes for this type of thing. For anybody that doesn't know what it was, a couple of weeks ago on Facebook, the trailer was released about a photographer that sneaks into all these festivals and gets the shot and ends up on stage and does all of this type of thing. When I held back on making comments about it, because if it's true that he's been sneaking into events and he got access and then he ended up on these major events and major tours, all right, that's good for him. He was able to parlay it into something. But I didn't want to make a comment on it without knowing what it was all about.
Yeah.
So when the movie started, I thought it was a little cheesy when it started.
It was.
It was slow when it started.
Well, like
very slow.
The testimonial and all that stuff he had going on too throughout the movie.
Well, I thought the first part was slow, and then I started to enjoy it for the rest of the movie. I really did. I liked the cartoons drawn that replicate or replayed some of the things that happened. I thought that was cool. The stories with his friends were fine, but the stories with his parents were great. Then you had Grim, this guy that he met,
random dude that random old guy
is a major part of the movie.
He was awesome.
You know. And the problem is that the editors, I guess he basically shot this and then shopped it around and MTV picked it up. They basically tried to sell the movie in the trailer as a movie about somebody who sneaks into concerts and venues and shoots.
Almost like a how-to, kind of guide.
Which really isn't the case for this kid.
No.
That's not the case. Yes, that's how he started. And then he got access to some of the largest acts. He ended up on that Festival Express, or it wasn't Festival Express, but it was...
The Gentlemen of the Road tour.
Is that what it was called?
Mumford & Sons, correct.
But it was Mumford & Sons, the Medicine Crow Medicine Show, Uncle Bob's Medicine Crow Show.
Oh, and Edward Sharp, the Magnetic Zeros.
Edward Sharp, the Magnetic Zeros. Because I remember working with Edward Sharp around this time. And when I heard Alex Ebert, also of I'm a Robot, I heard about this tour that they were about to pull off, and I reached out to their management, and he's like, our sister, like his sister was already going on the tour as one of the photographers, but this kid ended up there. I actually reached out to him just to see if we could get him on at some point. He may be coming to New York, and he mentioned some things to me, but I would love to get him on to get his side and to ask him more questions, because some of it, whether it's suspect or not that 12 or 14 people snuck into Austin city limits somehow or another and ended up on stage.
I think it was actually 16 altogether, wasn't it?
It was a lot.
Yeah.
But I think the moral of the story of this movie is the fact that he was a couple of credits away from graduating college. He's a filmmaker. He had an idea. He turned this into something that got picked up, that a real movie company picked up and released. That's great exposure. That makes you look unbelievably really good.
Oh, yeah.
The work that he's doing is fine. He got calls from HBO. He's personal friends with a lot of the bands that he's worked with, so they love working with him. And the fact that he was able to talk to his parents about leaving school. Was he going to graduate, or was he going to go on this tour that comes along once in a lifetime, right? And I like the fact that if he's in school, I'd like to know what he was in school for.
Well, and I would like to know what happened with that, because
if he ever graduated,
they didn't really finish that part of the story.
If he still has the girl.
Exactly. They didn't really conclude that part, but they still ended it a great way. I love the ending.
I liked, like I said, the first 20 minutes seemed a little slow to me, or seemed a little like cheesy.
Definitely, yeah.
But then it picked up, and I really felt like it talked to me. Because I understood what it was like to be on a tour bus. I understood what it was like to be on tour, to be at these festivals, to do these things. So it was kind of talking to me. But it was really cool that he made that decision to leave school to go do this. I want to ask him was he going to school for film production?
Me too.
And photography, because if you get offered a job like that, and that's why you're in college. There's schools. I have a friend. She was in some kind of acting school, and you graduate automatically if you pick up a certain acting gig.
Really?
But yes, you graduate from school because that was the point.
I assume it was more on the safe side of things, just the way his parents were and the way he was telling the story about school. It seemed like it was more just like a business thing or some kind of generic degree. But I actually thought of Sutter a lot of the time too during the road trip part, because basically they're doing this giant road trip toward the end, just talking about life and just getting out there and just experiencing the road and just taking 2 weeks off and just doing it. Like especially because Sutter was doing it at the time, like that. You really need to see this movie, dude. Definitely.
Yeah, I'll check it out.
I loved it. I really liked the movie. It was solid.
Yeah, so check it out, guys. No cameras allowed.
Mm-hmm.
Take a look. You can take a look. It's in a book. It's reading Rainbow. I hope to get him on. But I tweeted him. He doesn't have a big Twitter following. I sent him a tweet. Asked him a question. Tweet came back to me. Private message. Send me an email. Send him an email.
Twitter, man.
Yeah. So it would be really cool. He's coming to New York at the beginning of September for something. So maybe we can get up there and sit down and have an interview with him.
Let's do it.
So no cameras allowed. That movie is out, and I think it's a worthwhile watch.
Yeah, especially if you're into photography. Now, we did watch another movie too, just real quick. We watched the Lego movie. That movie is great. I love that movie. I actually laughed out loud a couple of times on the plane.
I heard you, and then I did the same thing when I started to watch it, because it was a cute movie.
It was so good. Like, oh my God, it's going to be a little cheesy, but it was funny, man.
I'm Batman. What's up, baby? Come with me. Sparkles.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's it. Rainbow Bridges.
I highly recommend that one too if you guys haven't seen it. That's even if your kids want to watch a movie, that's great for the kids and for the adults.
It's actually better for the adults, I think.
Definitely better the jokes definitely are more for the adults.
All right, so a lot of people have been asking about metal prints and get discounts.
Nice.
So Adorama Picks finally got back to me about a discount for people. I like metal prints, the aluminized prints. The one that you saw that Randy Zuckerberg purchased was an aluminized print. They have the code. If you go to AdoramaPicks.com and you go ahead and you order metal prints, you can get 30% off until September 9th using PXJPOLIN30. All one word, all together. And it's lowercase. PXJ:30. The number 30. 30.
Yeah.
Obviously, 30% off is a hell of a lot, especially when you're spending.
That kind of
print
money
that I had made, the 24 by 36, is I believe $184. Hey, Dad, what's 30% off 184? $55 off. The human calculator says from the other room. So you're looking at about $55 off. Not only is that going to cover the $7 to $12 to get the UPS shipping done, that's going to save you some money. So get the bigger sizes. What?
Adorama is great. I mean, the fact that they do this.
Adorama Picks,
excuse me. The fact that they do this like every couple months, if that.
What, to give us codes?
They do it so often, yeah. I mean, that's a big percentage off.
Yeah, $55 off is pretty darn good.
Yeah. I got to do some myself, man. I still have print credit.
How much credit did I give you?
You gave me $500, and I only used like $20. But I got because I wanted to move in my new place, which I did. But at the time, that was right before I moved in. I wanted to make sure I had a layout of things. But now my room is covered in just music posters from the radio station, signed and printed and stuff. So I got to find some room. Maybe in my living room downstairs, I'll do it.
Got it.
Yeah.
Sutter, how far in are we, time-wise?
Just under an hour.
Oh, yeah?
Like 58 minutes.
Wow. Okay.
We're doing well.
Well,
Very
metal
well.
print, I like them, love them. I'm going to do in my place, I need to stagger different sizes because I just want to have a full wall of different sized prints from all my experiences around the world.
Well, and we started organizing again yesterday. Everything, all the production stuff that we have in your corner.
That's because you're full time now.
Yes, yeah, and we almost got there. We still have some stuff you got to go through, but it's pretty much organized, and there's just this beautiful, just white wall, in the beautiful white wall. That's like a contradiction. Anyway, there's this white wall, just empty white wall, and we're just waiting to cover it up with all your prints, man.
Yeah, the entranceway is where I want to do it.
Well, that, and I think you should do something there.
I'll think about it.
I mean, what do you have? 18-foot ceilings?
Something like that.
Yeah.
You could go above the elevator, like.
Yeah,
I don't
you
know.
up there too.
I don't know. I like my clean white walls though. There's just something.
They're beautiful white walls, Jared.
They're
beautiful white walls.
Well, do you know what the official name of that paint color is?
Oh my god.
Real white.
No.
What is it?
Bright ass white.
Bright.
I don't even know if that's true. I just wanted the brightest assest white walls I could get. That's what I said to my guy.
White.
Well, at first when I moved in and they wanted to paint, he's like, "I think you should do eggshell white," and I'm like, "No, I want bright ass white."
Is eggshell white like off white?
Yes.
Okay.
It's boring to me.
But white is not boring.
No, it's bright ass white, and we got purple. Okay. All right. So moving on. The whole big thing going on over the past month has been the Ice Bucket Challenge.
Yes.
The ALS Ice Bucket Challenge, which I said to you when we were coming home from San Francisco that I will not be participating in it.
You literally said it a couple hours before we actually
filmed to participate in it.
Yes.
So here's the thing. It's an unbelievable social media success. It is one of the best successes I have ever seen for getting people to do something to bring awareness to a illness like that, or just to bring awareness to anything. The other one that was pretty big was that Coney one, the CONY thing, the African Coney, right? Which
Except that guy went crazy.
I did not get behind that whatsoever because that reeked of marketing.
I will say that video was pretty powerful, though.
I didn't watch it.
What was it, like 25 minutes or half an hour? Or
I don't
something?
know, but I didn't watch it.
It had like 118 million views in like less than 24 hours.
That was an unbelievable social media success there. But this Ice Bucket Challenge, the reason I wasn't going to do it is because I thought that it was weird that the way to not donate was to dump a bucket of ice water on your head. But I think as of late, what we're starting to see is that not only are people making donations, they are also dumping the ice bucket water on their head.
For fun, yeah.
For fun, which is what we ended up doing.
Exactly.
I made a donation, and then we dumped the ice bucket. And I have to tell you that I did not put enough ice in there.
Dude,
I thought there was more ice than there really was.
I didn't know how much you put in there because I was getting all the camera gear ready, and then, I'm filming you, and you're pouring it in, and I'm just thinking in my head, I'm like, oh my God, there's like 15 pieces
That's
of ice.
the one mistake I made.
There's no ice.
I had more ice to throw in, and I thought that was a lot, but it wasn't.
Well, you got it from your ice bucket machine, and I don't think it produces that much.
Well,
right?
there's a ton because I don't use ice at all,
Oh,
so
okay.
it's full. That was my fault. That was my fault. I didn't realize
You
it.
had a giant trash can, and you only picked that much to fill up the whole thing.
What can I tell you? That was the one thing. I liked the video. I nominated Peter Hurley, who made a video, did the Ice Bucket Challenge in response to me. I nominated Zach Arias.
Yep.
I don't know if he did one yet. Scott,
I think, said he was going to do one.
right. Scott Kelby did it, but he didn't say that I
Mention
was the
you
person
at all.
to do it, to call him out on it. And then the plus one was Ken Rockwell, which I sent him an email with the post and have not heard back from him yet. This is for a good cause, Ken Rockwell.
He put that right in the
trash
delete.
bin?
Yeah.
Oh, I never received this.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You didn't call me out. He could have made a donation. You don't know.
That's
but
true.
I think it was one of the
Silent
coolest,
donation.
one of the greatest campaigns ever for one of the worst diseases ever. I've had friends, acquaintances that have passed away. It is one of the most debilitating things ever. Your brain is still functioning,
It's terrible.
but your body just fails around you, and you asphyxiate when you can't breathe anymore and stuff.
I mean, some people are saying it's not causing awareness, but I really do hope people... Well, because think about it. You're pouring a bucket of ice on there. Are people actually checking it out, or is there anything on there that says anything about
just the fact
describing ALS?
that people are talking about it?
I understand, yeah.
And everybody in the world
I
is
just hope
doing
people
it.
are actually going and checking out what ALS is, what Lou Gehrig's disease is.
Well, it's obvious that they are because they've raised $26 or so million.
Yeah, but everybody's doing it. Like, you would think they would have raised a lot more by this point.
$26 million is a lot of money.
Yeah, but there's probably like 2 billion people that have done an ice bucket challenge.
Yeah, but
I'm just saying, and they're supposed
compared
to do
to
$100
last year
donation.
when they've done like $1.5 million at the same point.
Yeah, but
So
they didn't do the challenge. Yeah,
now they've done the challenge. They have that amount of money raised in a short amount of time. Has definitely brought awareness, and it's also set the stage for somebody else to say what other huge successful campaigns will you come up with? It's just, I love the business aspect of it. I love that they created this and how it actually worked.
It's crazy. I mean, some things work, and then some things you think are going to work, and it flops.
And then you get people that have one successful video on YouTube that get like 5 million views and then sit there and tell you that they're an expert in how to make a viral video. You are not a freaking expert when you make one video or 3 videos in a year, and the last video you posted was a year, and then you go and try to tell people that you can help them make a viral video. Unless you've repeated yourself 10, 20, 15 times, I don't care that you have 5 million views on a video. That's one video. That's fleeting. That's gone. That doesn't mean that you're a success. Try doing it 27 times in a row.
Yeah, that blew my mind when
we can't even talk about it.
Yeah,
but I'm
Let's
just saying
we met someone that
I'm
said
just saying that if you're going to consult people, you better have a track record of successes. And I rather personally have less videos that get less views on it, or sorry, more videos that get less views on it than one video that's it. Because people aren't going to be interested in one video after it's done.
Well, I forgot about that specific video until that person brought it up, and I checked out that person's channel.
I don't remember ever seeing that video.
I did see it actually at the time when it went viral.
5 million today? Not viral.
I'm just saying.
You're just saying?
I'm just saying because that's what they called it.
Got it.
Yes.
All right. So anyway, that's the campaign. I thought it was pretty nice.
It was fun to film that too.
It was fun to film.
I can say you definitely donated. I watched you do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, we filmed it 60 frames per second, so we did do some slow motion with it, which was pretty cool because we don't typically do that. Which I think we should do a lot more of that. But yeah, a lot of people called you the Jesus. A lot of people called
Jesus?
you Jesus.
Yes, when my hair was down.
Yes.
All right, Sutter, let's get this Wheel of Fro going on here.
Yeah, Wheel of Fro.
Because we didn't, we spun it last week. We did add something new last week, which was the, what is it called? The DJI Phantom.
Yep.
So this is going to be the first time we are spinning the Wheel of Fro back at the loft with the DJI Phantom. Last week it landed on Squarespace, and JJ, who needed a Squarespace, didn't have one yet, officially is getting his Squarespace set up right now. So on the wheel, we've got Squarespace. Speaking of Squarespace, go to squarespace.com/fro, get 10% off, or get a 14-day free trial first, and then you can get 10% off if you use the code FRO. We have a Fro Prize Black Rapid strap. We've got the Fro Prize sandwiched by the DJI Phantom. It has to land right in the, well, it has to land on that white area.
That's going to be tough.
It's going to be tough, but it's like $1 million
pins in between.
Yeah, it's like $1 million prize on Wheel of Fortune.
I can't wait till that day happens.
Think Tank. So we've got Think Tank photo bags. We were there. You got to see the Think Tank. How did you like going into the room with all the Think Tank bags?
That was cool. Brian from Think Tank brought me in his room, and he's just got this giant shelving area of just all these Think Tank bags. And he's like, "Hey, you should probably get one to replace the bag you have right now," which I'm not going to name the brand. I didn't have a Think Tank bag on me, and he's like, "Oh, go in that room and take whatever you want." I'm like, okay, let's take this one right here.
Exactly. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was really cool. Interesting stuff.
Roads, where we're going, we don't need roads. Rode microphone, we use the Rode Broadcasters. We also have the Smart Lav, which you took home. So if you land on that, you'll probably get a free microphone. Fro Prize, Adorama Picks, you get some stuff from them. There's a glare on that one. That's borrow lenses. That's $250 in credit. Squarespace, Lexar, Fro Prize, question mark. If you land on the question mark, you get anything on the wheel except the DJI Phantom. Are we ready to do this, Sutter?
Absolutely.
How much time is left till you have to reset these things?
3 minutes.
Oh, you sure?
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead, Sutter. It's time.
Wheel of Fro!
Hopefully I don't cut myself this week. All right, I did not cut myself that I know of. Round and round it goes. Where it stops, nobody knows. The Wheel of Fro is going to stop on something very, very rare. Past the DJI Phantom, and it's landing on Squarespace again. Oh, I forgot to say who we were playing for.
Yeah, I didn't know who we were playing for.
We are playing for Nicholas Riker. All right, you want to remove this, Sutter, please? Nicholas Riker.
You know what we should have is one of these popper things, like just in handy, just you know,
if it ever lands on the DJI,
it lands on the DJI, and then we just do this giant explosion.
An explosion in the sky. So let me tell you about Nicholas here. You know Nicholas.
I do?
Yes. He's the kid with the big fro from last week.
Oh, Nicholas is awesome. He's a cool dude.
So,
Audio freak, man. That man knows his audio.
He knows everything.
He knows everything.
He's young. He's 19.
I can't believe how much he knows and how much he's doing for that age. It's mind-blowing. Plus, he doesn't look like 19 at all.
He doesn't look 19. He's got a bigger fro than me. I put up the photo on Instagram.
It's nice and full.
He was cool. We talked for a while. He's got a very interesting backstory.
Oh, yeah.
We talked for a little bit of time there, and he seems really far advanced for 19.
Dude, it blew my mind. He knows more audio stuff than I do, I think.
Yeah.
Actually, I definitely think.
So he is winning a Squarespace, a free year of... Did I cut myself again? No, thankfully. I didn't, because last week there was like a razor on there.
It really was.
I cut my finger. I was very upset. So congratulations to Nicholas Riker. We are setting you up with that free year of Squarespace Business, which is right under $200.
That's awesome.
Dollars.
Does he have a website?
I don't know. I didn't ask him.
Hopefully he doesn't.
Well, now he does.
Well, now he has another website.
Now he has Squarespace.
Yeah.
For a year.
That's cool.
So that's cool. Next, what do we have coming up? I'm going away.
What do we have coming up this weekend, you mean? Or just in general?
In general, what's coming up?
I don't know. I mean...
Now that you're full-time, how was your first full day?
It was good. Well, yesterday...
Remember what happened on your first day?
Friday?
Your first day. It was Friday.
I don't know what happened.
Your first day at work, what did you do?
We flew.
We flew to San Francisco.
Yeah.
It was a pretty good first day at work.
It was. And then we went to the Phillies game that night.
Right.
It was pretty solid, I would say. And then Monday, it's just a day from hell as usual. Because we didn't get home until... I didn't get home until like 10 a.m. because we got home at like 7, but then I had to hit rush hour traffic going home in Jersey, which sucked. But anyway, I went to bed, didn't get up to like 3 p.m. in the afternoon, and just ended up basically not starting RAWtalk or anything till like 3 o'clock. And normally I'm already on that by like 10 a.m. So I was up till like 4 a.m. Monday night trying to finish everything for Tuesday.
Oh, I haven't packed yet Dad, I haven't packed yet.
Well, you only bring like that one bag with one shirt.
No, but I have to dress up. It's a bar mitzvah, so I have to wear... I have a new pair of black pants.
So you got to wear like the wedding video client
what
suit?
No, I got a nice pair of black pants. They're extra tight. And I don't know what kind of shirt I'm wearing.
Are they Sebastian McCall's?
They're not, but they don't make dress pants, I don't think. Yeah? No, so I got that. I have to pack. I'm going to take my laptop. And then I'm away from Thursday till Sunday again.
You filming anything?
I don't know if I'm taking a camera.
Really? Nothing.
I should probably take one of the I should probably take one of the D610s.
Oh, I got to take a camera.
What am I gonna? I'll probably take a D610.
Yeah.
I don't plan on making content.
Well, this trip seems to be more like a vacation trip for you.
No, it's more of a family trip.
Well, which is vacation trip in my opinion.
Vacation. No, being around this family, is this vacation, Dad? Is he sleeping?
I think no, he's not sleeping. He's trying.
Were you sleeping? Oh, Stephen said that this trip was like a vacation. Do you agree with that?
He said no comment.
It's never easy. All right. Well,
I take it back.
There's always something.
Yeah.
There's always something. But I'm prepared.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Sutter, what do you have coming up?
Nothing in particular. I got to get all my film developed from the trip.
How much rolls do you have, man?
How many rolls do you have?
I probably shot 8 or 9 rolls.
Oh, that's
which
not
is,
much.
I mean, I'm pretty selective, just like Jared is, as far as film costs money.
I'm just looking. I can't see you.
Oh,
so that's why I'm squinting.
I thought you were like giving me like the stink eye.
It does look like he's
I know. I
stink eye.
can't really see him because
No.
there's got 12 lights in my face.
I'm broke. You can't shoot a lot of film. You got to pay for it.
That is true. Did you do any digital stuff or?
I tried to do some like nighttime stuff, but there was a supermoon at the time.
Oh,
so
yeah,
stars were kind of washed out.
We missed, by the way, or I missed.
We didn't miss it.
Yeah, I did.
I think we were in San Francisco.
No, I think it was right before San Francisco.
Oh.
I think.
Oh,
the days up to San Francisco.
Yeah,
probably.
Yeah, exactly. Now, did you get to shoot any of what you wanted to shoot? I don't know if you've talked about it yet.
It was tough because, for example, I wanted to shoot some film as in video, in the Narrows of Zion, but it's tough to bring
in the Matrix.
Your camera gear, like your photo gear and video gear, and then hike like 16 miles in a river.
16 miles.
So
what?
you kind of, I mean, I didn't do 16, but it was just more of an exaggeration. But it's tough to balance that. So if I was just saying, I'm here to film, that would be a lot easier than saying, oh, I want to take pictures, I want to film, I want to bring a tripod, a glide cam, and this and that. And I just kind of restrained myself a little bit from really pushing film. But yeah, that's about it.
That's like the Redwoods. You know, I was trying to talk you into not bringing all the gear.
You mean for me to actually bring a camera?
Well, and I told you to bring a camera too, and you're like,
I
I'm
don't
not
wanna
going to bring
bring a
one. I'm like,
camera.
dude, just bring something. We're going to the Redwoods. You'll probably never get to do this again, blah, blah, blah. And then I finally actually talked you in to doing it, and I think you maybe took like 2 pictures.
I took a couple pictures when we made a video.
But you and Mike Kelly, you guys were talking for a while.
We were just
I, on the other
talking.
hand, was like behind you guys 50 feet every time because I was stopping at every freaking tree. But I got some cool stuff out of it. I did a
all
lot
that
of
matters.
HDR stuff, but it's really tough with those trees because they're just so tall. You need the widest lens ever.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So we are going to call it a day. We've got this is episode 100. So that's a lot of
Wow.
episodes.
That's
Almost 2 years worth of episodes. So if you're just getting familiar with FroKnowsPhoto RAWtalk, I highly suggest that you download every single episode on iTunes or go onto YouTube and watch the episode so that you can just. There's a lot of great content through those 100 episodes. There really is. Like going back to I think 17 was Gary Vaynerchuk.
See, I wasn't around for them.
That was one of the early. I think that may have been the first one that I filmed because I used the GoPro,
right?
just one angle, terribly done.
I would love to get him back on.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah.
If he has to promote something, maybe he'll come on. I'll just reach out to him.
Yeah, that'd be great.
It would be good to do it right.
We probably have to go up to New York to do that, right?
Well, I did it the first time.
Okay.
I'm not sure what we would talk about this time, but it was really enjoyable. Maybe he wants to do a follow-up, but we can see. So going forward, you're full-time. We're on episode 100 of this. We plan on doing more mobile Raw Talks. I have a goal
And
of
so many more videos.
let's
too.
talk about January, February-ish time, going to Australia or something along those
Uh-oh.
lines.
Now, we would have to spend, I think, more than
3 weeks.
Wow, yeah.
I think we'd be like 3 weeks.
That would be
And we would do
awesome.
there's 2 major cities, Sydney and I forget what the other one was, that are like 4 hours away. So we could basically do 2 Raw Talks, one there, one there. We can do some boot camps so that we can fund the trip by doing boot camps. So there's opportunities to do that. I want us to travel. I want us to do mobile Raw Talks and then just start crushing content and continuing to crush content.
That would be really, really cool.
So that's going to be it. I'm going to wrap it up. Is that all
Wrap
right?
it up.
All right, guys. Thank you again. This has been episode number 100. You can go to FroKnowsPhoto.com/RAWtalk-100 for the photo news stories and more. And that is all I have to say about that. Thank you for listening to episode 100. Jared Polin, FroKnowsPhoto.com. See ya.
Woohoo!